This is prompted by um, a DM I got this morning from a person who wanted to know how they should start, what they should do. So I thought I would get on here and share this with you. If this is your first time here, my name is Lydia Nicole, and this is Acting Smarter Now. So I'm going to start with a quote from Abraham Lincoln. He was asked what he should do to chop down a tree, and he said if he had 6 hours, he would take the first 4 hours and just sharpen the axe. And with the other two, then he would cut the tree. Acting is like that. You know, a lot of times people see other people on the screen and they go, I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, you can, but it takes time. It takes you to start to hone the craft, to start figure out what it is that you sell, what it is that you're good at. How could you sell yourself? So today I want to give you 7 tips to start your acting career. The first tip is getting an acting foundation. That means taking classes, not just taking any classes, but going to a reputable teacher or school where they are going to give you the foundation of that technique. So there are places like Baron Brown, Stella Adler, and the list goes on and on, where they actually have a 2-year program. So you're taking the classes for 2 years to give you the solid foundation that you need. At Baron Brown, they start you the first year with just doing exercises, and then the second year you get into character work. So they're building this foundation that is solid. So when you get out in the world, you're booking work, you're on set, you know what you are doing, because acting requires skills. I know it doesn't look like it, and sometimes people who are not at the best have booked work, but they may not have a career. They might have booked that job, but that doesn't mean they're going to have a career. And when you start out your acting career by taking classes that give you a foundation, beginning classes. I know that Ivana Chubbuck has beginning classes. So you are in that beginning classes. In that beginning class, you are learning the foundation. You are learning how she teaches. Most reputable acting schools and acting studios will have a introduction course or a beginner's course. And then depending on the schools, depending how they do it, they'll have a beginning, intermediate, and advanced. And so it is important to do those steps so that you can get everything you need. I cannot stress it enough. A lot of times actors want to jump in. I'm ready. I'm going to get pictures and I'm going to get an agent and I'm going to start working. No, that's not to your benefit. Yes, you can do that. You can say, I'm going to Hollywood. I'm going to be a star. And you get to Hollywood and you just find a photographer, take some headshots, submit it to agents, and maybe you'll get booked right away because the look you have is in season. But what happens when you get that self-tape for the role and you don't even know how to do a co-read, let alone do a self-tape? You are blowing your chances. So before you try to jump the line, get in front of everybody, do the basics. Take a good foundation acting class or a couple of, at least a year of classes where you're getting the foundation. And that way you start to learn, I like these type of roles, I don't like these type of roles. These type of roles look good on me, because part of taking acting classes is to discover yourself, discover what it is that you do well, that nobody can do like you. You don't want to try to be the actor who does everything, because that means if you're doing everything, you're not going to get anything. you want to be very specific. The more specific you can be, the better it will be for you. And instead of looking at if you have an ethnic background and you look ethnic, I don't look like a blonde surfer girl. I am ethnic. I am Latina and black. So I have a different vibe. So I'm not going to try to do something that is not in line with what it is that I sell. If I want to do that, I'll go do a play. I'll do a play where I can just explore and discover and play, or I'll take classes and work on materials that I would not normally get cast in. But as a working actor, I need to hone down what it is that I do well. So, with that, number one, you want to take a foundation acting class and stay in it between 1 and 2 years. Not that you aren't doing anything else, but that is your main objective, is to get that craft underneath your belt and shine. Then the next thing is, in those classes, number two, you want to discover what it is that you are good at. Are you good at comedy? Are you good at drama? Are you the leading man or leading lady? Are you the best friend? Are you the grumpy neighbor? What is it that you do well? And you discover that by being in classes, and then the teachers get to know you and they get to have a sense of, oh, Lydia can do that. Oh, let me see what she does in this. I'm gonna give her this scene. I'm gonna give her this monologue. Let me see what she could do. And that is how you start to develop what it is that you do, so you can shine in it. Number three, once you have taken the classes and figured out what you're good at, what looks good on you, then it's time for you to take some headshots. And I would start with basics. I talk a lot about branding, but as you're beginning, I want to stress type, because that's the easiest way for you to start booking. So instead of being the grumpy neighbor, maybe I'm just the next door neighbor. Maybe I am the person in the checkout stand. Maybe I am the person at the baseball game rooting. So you want to do a type, and within that type is age range. What age range do you play? Not what your age is. Not, I'm 25. You may not look 25. You may look more like 18, or you may look more like 35. Everybody looks different, not necessarily according to their age. So when they're casting, they're looking for age range. Somebody between, let's say, 18 and 21. Somebody between 25 and 28, or 30, 33. So you want to know your age range. So when you're taking those headshots, what is my type? What is my age range? You're going to dress appropriately for that. If you're playing a teenager, then you need to be dressing like a teenager when you take your headshots. Don't come looking like you're at the prom. Unless you are a prom queen and that is what you sell, then yeah, go looking like the prom queen. But if you're just a teenager, take take some headshots with you looking like a teenager. Maybe a graphic T-shirt that is nondescript, so that it won't get you in trouble, but it gives a sense of, oh, this is a teenager. A jean jacket, maybe a colorful T-shirt, or dark T-shirt if you're doing theatrical, and a jean jacket. Keep it simple. You're selling a type. When you are starting out, you're selling a type, not necessarily a brand, just a type. When I started in Los Angeles, I was selling teenager. So I had 2 pigtails. I was with a skateboard. I was jumping rope. Those were my commercial shots. I was taking little action shots. I was holding a thing of a drink in my hand with a straw. I was giving the illusion I'm a teenager. And sometimes you can stay in that age range category for quite a while. I'll tell you, when I started in the business, I was 18 years old. I was legal. I could do whatever I wanted to do. And so I got hired as 16 years old. As I think I even got a job where I played 15. But I stayed in that teenage group until I was 35. Until I was 35. And then I was like, okay, that's it. I am done. No mas. When I did the movie Stand and Deliver, I was actually 27 years old, playing a teenager in high school. And I looked young. That's just how God made me. It was, and I wasn't trying to do that. I couldn't go up for an adult role if I paid them. I couldn't go up for an adult role. So when you're taking headshots, you want to make sure that you are dressing the type. You are the type, whatever that is, mom, a soccer mom, a um, a young um, a young attorney, a nurse, a resident. You want to give us type. Then that's number three, right? Taking headshots. Number four is now you're going to start looking for a small talent agency. Do not try to go for CAA or WME or any of the big agencies because they're not going to take you. You are just starting out. And that is a great goal to have in a few years when you've booked enough credits and you are really strong at your acting. But in the beginning, find a small talent agency that will rep you and get you out for one line, 5 lines, because that's normally what you're going to get. When you don't have any credits, you're going to book work for 1 line, 5 lines. And this is important. Those 1 liners, those 2 liners, those 5 liners are just as important as the leading role is. Because you are part of the story. So don't poo poo, oh, I just got 1 line. Yay, you got 1 line. You're in a movie, you're in a TV show. Yes, that is awesome. So you look for a small talent agency, you have your headshots that represent your type, and now you are giving it to the talent agency. Now that you have that, now you are going to start submitting yourself or making contact with some of the TV shows that you might want to be part of. You are good at your acting now. You got a sense of how to deliver. And with the foundation class, let me just add one more thing. When you say, okay, I'm ready to go out professionally, that is the time you need to take cold reading classes. They are different from acting classes. They are not the same. Acting teaches you technique. Co-reading teaches you how to read the script and act like you know what you're saying with ease. Okay? Co-reading is a little different than taking a regular acting class. In a regular acting class, you're going deep. You're getting into the character. You're getting into all this stuff. When you are taking a co-reading class, you're basically learning how to lift up the material off the page and be able to deliver it and have some choices that you make. But you're not going in as deep as you would if you booked the role or even if you were going on a callback. It's a little different. And so I recommend taking co-reading classes because it keeps you sharp. Something that I would do all the time when I was acting regularly, which I'm getting ready to do again, is to go and take a cold reading class. When I would take a cold reading class twice a year, every time the season was starting, so that I knew that I was ready. I was not rusty. I was going in there. I was delivering the goods, especially because I have dyslexia. So taking the co-reading classes really helped me to be confident and not feel like, oh my God, am I going to mess up the lines? I don't know. But taking the co-reading classes is like taking a gym class. You know, you're training those muscles, you're getting them strong, so when you go in or you do a self-tape, you are ready to deliver the goods. The seventh thing I want to talk to you about is your social media page. as you are starting to go out on acting, your social media page should start reflecting that you are an actor. So how do you do that? I would put um, maybe little clips of you rehearsing a scene for class, or something where you're getting yourself ready for an audition. Give us a slice of life of you as an actor, maybe some quotes of actors who you like, or some little snippets of videos of things that actors have said. So when I go looking at your Instagram or your TikTok or whatever your social media page is, I see, oh, this is an actor. They are fully engaged. You're not doing silly videos that have nothing to do with your art. Unless your character, your type is someone who is silly, then I go, okay, but don't put anything on your social media pages that will lose you a job. Don't be very careful, because in this day and age, the casting people, the producers are all looking at your site. They're trying to verify if you are someone that they should be hiring. So be specific, be intentional about your work. So again, let's go over the 7 things that I talked to you about. I talk about you're starting, how to start an acting career. So the first thing is a foundational class. Take an acting class that's going to give you basic techniques, so you know how to deliver the material, you know how to break it down, you know how to start developing a character, you start to go deep into material. Number 2, the reason why you want to take a foundation class and be in it for at least a year is so that you can discover what it is that you do well, what scenes look great on you. And when you find a scene that looks really great on you, use that partner and say, hey, can we record this scene? That way you have social proof of what you do, and how you can do it, especially if you don't have many credits. Taping your scenes are great for social proof. It says, oh my God, she could play that nurse, she could play that doctor, she could play that uh, um, professional who is getting ready to be the CEO of the company. So document those scenes, record them with your smartphone if you have to. Then number 3, take headshots that represent your type. What would you be cast in today as? Number 4, and you don't have to do 20 different shots. Pick three different shots that represents the types that you would do. They shouldn't be that far away from each other, because that confuses the representation that you may get, whether it's an agent or a manager. You want to stick close to what it is that you do. If you're playing a young mom, what kind of young mom are you? So be more specific in that. I play a urban young mom, or I play a suburban young mom, or I play a country young mom. Be more specific in the type, because that way you will book work. The next thing is, start looking for a small talent agency who will start submitting you for a couple of lines, so you can start building your resume. Number 5, pick scenes and monologues that represent you. I said it earlier, but number 5 is pick scenes and monologues that represent you, shoot them, and then go ahead and put them up on your social media pages, so casting people can see what you do. Put them up on your the casting sites that you are subscribing to, and this is when you start subscribing to certain casting sites, so when you have representation, they're going to be using that site to pitch you. And number 7 is start posting stuff on social media. I hope this has been helpful for you if you want to start a career as an actor, a working actor. These are the 7 steps to start doing, so you can get there. And one last thing I will say to you is that Give yourself 2 years before you start seeing anything happening. You know, a lot of times we want to see it, you know, it hasn't happened in 15 days and, oh, I already took the class and nothing happened. It has to develop. Again, I go back to what Abraham Lincoln said about cutting down the tree. 6 hours to cut down a tree. He takes 4 of those hours and just sharpens the axe. And then the other 2, he is going and cutting the tree. As an actor, you are learning to sharpen the axe first. So it takes more time. Then once you start going, then everything is good. But first you need to sharpen your skills. You need to sharpen your ability, your identity. You need to develop, and it takes time. It takes time. I want to say that again. It takes time. I know people tell you, well, you can start acting tomorrow. Yeah, you can get a extra job tomorrow. Absolutely. But could you get an acting job tomorrow and you have no skills? I don't think so. I don't think so, unless you are such a unique type that the director has said, I am going to work with this person and get them to do what I want. That is possible. That has happened. But most of the times those things are a one-off, and then you don't have a career. You got to be in a movie, you got to be in a TV show for that period of time, and then it was over. And I want you to have a full, long career. I want you to be in the business as long as you want and make money as long as you can. That is my advice for you today. Let me know your thoughts. Have an amazing rest of your day.